safe. Hello. I hope everyone's doing well. Welcome to my so-called life. I have quite a few things planned this evening. I've rescued 2 sewing machines just by finding the cord. Great to see you, Mona. Great to see you. And yes, I have the longest opening in showbiz. How's it going? My name is William, and this is my so-called life.
Get the most fun out of life, out of being a mother and wife. With new fashion, excitement, that's all created by you. On your new Touch and Sew
Sewing machine by Singer.
Touch and Sew.
Another first from Singer.
Be the girl with the golden touch on your new Singer Golden Touch and Sew machine. Dozens of exclusive features, like this new built-in needle threader for the golden slant needle and the push-button bobbin that winds right in the machine. What a wonderful new feeling. You can do all 3 kinds of sewing: straight, zigzag, and chain stitch.
Touch and Sew, the push-button bobbin way.
Come sew on one at your Singer Center. Choose from 5 Touch and Sew models from $149.95.
What's new for tomorrow?
Is at Singer today.
They're just-touching Touchtronic memory machines.
Incredible.
I'm Polly Bergen. Only Singer makes machines this easy to use. Touch. The memory remembers your stitch pattern instantly. Touchtronic speed control remembers to adjust your fabric thickness.
What about basting?
Touch. Great. You can forget about your sewing machine and concentrate on sewing. The Touchtronic memory machine family. Come take a test, Touch.
Yay! Hello. Do you know what's funny? Like, I love just skating in the gym. Oh, wrong button. Hello. I hope everybody's having a great evening. It's been a Monday. But regardless, I am so glad that you're here. Welcome to the House of Sewing. My name is William. I have quite a few things to get into. I hope we get into all of it this evening. Okay, I'm done being cool. I'll take my glasses off. Yay! Hello, Donnell. Hello, Mona. Great to see you, Alibaba. Nightmare Baby. Hello, hello. Great to see you. To anyone watching, you are welcome here. You know what? Before we get to the festivities, let me get to my disclaimer really quickly. Because here in the House of Sewing, we're not here to malign anyone. Oh, my notebook fell apart. This program is for entertainment purposes only, and its content is not intended to malign any religion, lack thereof, race, gender, company, individual, or wigs. All opinions expressed by my so-called life and program participants are solely their personal views and do not reflect the views of every single human being on planet Earth. I hope everybody has a great evening flying my so-called life airlines, but if not, we have exits on both sides. That's a la izquierda and derecha. I just my left isn't the same with having a brace. I can't do my Vanna White with. I hope everybody's having a great evening. I am excited. I don't even know where to start. I'm sitting in a room of sewing machine cords, but sometimes it's not necessarily the easiest thing to find the cord to coincide with the machine. And I found one cord that brought three sewing machines together. So I'm excited. I am excited. I haven't decided. Well, I kind of have decided what I'm going to sew this evening. The pattern is around here. Oh, there. This evening, I will be sewing my old friend Simplicity Pattern S9 158. And yes, this man still has a spray on beard. There's no way on earth that beard is real. And if you ever see that pattern, I'm looking for that pattern as well. Awesome. I've been going back and forth of what material I'm going to use for that particular pattern, but I'm going to use this extremely strange tweed. I only have 4 machines and struggle to find the right. So one of the things about when I buy a sewing machine, excuse me, in a real way, a lot of the time I'll buy it without the cord because I know that I have the cord somewhere in my house. Yeah, great to see you, Alibaba. Great to see you. It actually happened recently in Las Vegas. This woman was giving a speech to somebody, and she's like, I would never buy that machine without a cord. I swooped in like a hawk and was like, Kaka, I will. And I love it when people think that I do not speak other languages. Because when they talk about me, it's so impossible for me not to turn around and shoot him a look. But she said in Spanish, she's like, I have no idea what he's going to do with that machine. I'm going to plug it in. Ah, no. One more reason I like treadles. And the funny thing is, with certain years, they switch the cord. Even in the same brand, Singer is famous for this. They switch their cords all the time. But recently, I've been buying hordes and gobs of these guys. I can't stop buying these 1980s wannabe heavy duty sewing machines. This is heavy, but I kind of work out. This is like a solid 40 pounds, maybe. It's not as heavy as the Ricker machine weighs at least 60 pounds. I've purchased 3 of these recently within the past month or two. What I'll admit to. I think I might get an 1882, 1886 David vertical feed at the end of the month. Awesome. Well, Alibaba knows I burn out sewing machines, so I go looking for very specific type of sewing machines. Right now, let me see if I can adjust my camera. If you hear singing, it's my son. He's quite an opera singer, let me tell you. Okay. There we go. Okay. So, let me see if I can turn this around or if it's not that long. Here we go. Perfect. So, I have two sewing machines sitting on my desk right now. I have this domestic and I also have this white sewing machine. And the third sewing machine that I picked up, they all use the same cord. And yes, I know the Ricker is better. That thing literally chewed straight through jeans. I had a bunch of jeans laying around for months and months, and I fixed 7 pairs of jeans within 20 minutes with the Ricker. But these are Japanese clone sewing machines, every single one of them. And if they're not from Japan, they're from Taiwan, or the other one had a label, but every single one of them uses the exact same cord. Do you know what's funny? I grabbed this because I knew I had the cord, and because I'm a geek, I matched the thread. But I knew I had the cord because this particular model, for some reason, was remade a million times. This is one of the most well, besides, the obvious Singer models, but this is one of the most cloned sewing machines I've ever come across. Thank you. Let's see. Let me unplug this for a minute because I have this awkward camera angle. I'm still working on my sewing cam. I've only been here a couple years. I'm still working out the bugs. Oh. But this white sewing machine and this machine as well, which is also a white, they all use the same cord. They all claim to be heavy duty. They're not necessarily heavy duty. Oh, this is from Cleveland, Ohio. So shout out to all the Cleveland, Ohio people. Oh man, my kid is going off in there. Sometimes I think he's actually like fighting somebody. They're all basically the same machine. Exactly. And you know what the funny thing is? One of the reasons why I love collecting these machines is because they're, for just like my Singer heavy duty, which is not heavy duty in any way, they actually sew well. And so I use them. I have my sled team of sewing machines. Yay! I live near Cleveland. Awesome. I've been to that area and I have nothing but nice things to say. I have nothing but nice things to say. But once I discovered one cord, I knew they all were gonna fire right up. So I'm gonna be playing musical sewing machines this evening. And I have to say, I started using regular sewing machine oil. It's changed the house of sewing. Hey, folks, kind of chilly night, so I had a hot bath. Hey, Kilroy, great to see you. It is still hot. Here. Great to see you. I'm about 2 hours from Cleveland. Before the plague, I used to, I'm a huge baseball fan. I just don't talk about it as much as hockey because not too many people are into baseball. But like, I used to go and travel a lot to go watch the Dodgers or the Angels or just to go see a new stadium. Yay! So I've been to Cleveland. Yay! Great to see you, Kilroy. Yay! Hello. Awesome. So today has been a crazy day. I started off my day in a really strange way. I went to work. I came home. My son had testing today. So I took him to his testing. And when I came, do you know that feeling as a parent when you come home and your house is empty. It's like that scene in Risky Business. I know I talk about that scene a lot, but I had my clothes on, but I was put those old records on the shelf. I had hours to myself, and I was excited. So I got a lot of laundry done, a lot of sewing done. I made a short. I had a great time. Yeah, I can't believe summer's almost. I know. So here, summer is over completely. In Southern California, I think 90 something percent of the kids are back at school now. Ever been to PNC Park? Most beautiful park in the world. No, but it's on the list. It's on the list of parks that it's on my bucket list. And honestly, I was achieving that, and then the plague hit. I had gone to quite a few games. I've gone to quite a few stadiums all the way up to Texas. Then the plague hit, and traveling wasn't as fun as it was before. See, business never goes out of style. Absolutely. So I don't know how many people know this. I went and picked up my son on the way home. I don't know how to say this. Jaywalking. Oh, hold on. Let me see. I love those days when the house is empty and you can do all those things you've been meaning to do but didn't because people get in the way. Absolutely. There's all kinds of I did home improvements that I've been trying to do, just screwing things in. So excuse me, where I live, jaywalking is legal. It's caused lots of problems. And this morning at like 11 o'clock this morning, I was making a left and somebody ran and darted in front of my car. I didn't hit the person, but they literally did this over my car. And I'm not kidding you. My son and I would scream, "Whoa!" at the same time. I was so proud of him. But it was such an insane morning. A lot of nights at PNC Park, they have fireworks. In Western PA, if that event has fireworks, you double the numbers of attendees. Dodger Stadium's like that too, but they announce it and you can go pull in the hills. You can pull in the hills and watch people watch the fireworks go off. I actually missed that. So needless to say, my morning was crazy. And I'm not even saying, oh, it's legal to jaywalk for any like political purpose or anything. It's just to set up the story. It's legal to jaywalk here, so people act crazy. They act like squirrels. Literally, this guy was like one of those weird squirrels that dart into traffic and then come back. Oh, I believe that's terrifying. More of a wake up call than coffee. Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. I always jokingly say, like, don't catch me before coffee. Do not catch me before coffee. All right. So I'm going to pull my table out. I have a ton of stuff. Oh, before I pull my table out. Okay. So we all know that I'm a thrifter. Recently, hold on, let me remove that from studio. Okay. So I purchased a vest. And I love sewing on vests. When I see a vest, it's like a piece of canvas to me, an empty piece of canvas. So I purchased a new vest. What I consider real denim is not being sold anymore and wide use. This weird mixed poly blend denim is everywhere. I purchased a vest for $10 at the Goodwill. That's $10 on Amazon. I don't know if that makes sense or not. I recently purchased a $10 vest just to see what it looked like. And the only thing that I can say is that the pockets were sewn shut, but I got a seam ripper and the pockets were completely lined. So I don't know. Today in 1977, Groucho Marx died, and in 1952, Jonathan Franks was born. And in 1921, Gene Roddenberry was born. And in 1934, they had the first soapbox derby in Dayton, Ohio. There you go. There you go. It's a very Ohio-centric show already. I have a weird question. I'm gonna grab my table. Where is that line between, like, I'm really into sports, but I would never like, if I saw someone wearing a San Jose Sharks hat, I wouldn't say a word to him. My son loves the Raiders. It gets a really weird reaction from people. He wears a Raiders hat. I bought him jerseys, t-shirts, everything. And it, and today when this guy came out for testing, he's a cool guy. And long story short, he walks up to me and he's like, "You let your son walk out of the house wearing Raiders gear?" And I was like, "Man, do you know how much that jersey cost her?" But it made me laugh how much people dislike the now Las Vegas Raiders. Oh, I grew up both a Raider and Rams fan. I have a ton of Rams gear. No one says a word to me. People tell me, "Oh, nice jersey." I actually have a newer Rams jersey that I wear all the time. People tell me all the time, "That's a cool jersey." Well, actually, they've switched over to the old jerseys, but it's weird. My cousin is a Sharks fan. His whole rec room is Sharks. The Los Angeles Kings and the San Jose Sharks do not get along. Depends on the rivalries. If you wear a Cowboys jersey in Pittsburgh, you might get looks, but if you wear a Ravens jersey, you might get shot. Oh, do you know, that reminds me of a really, really funny story a long time ago. I absolutely, I know this is going to sound crazy. I get along with my ex-wife's husband. I love him. I think he's an amazing human. He has more patience than I do. He is a great person. And he's a Raiders fan as well. He's a hardcore Raiders fan. A couple Super Bowls ago, they were having a party. I came to pick up my son. I walked into a house wearing a Rams jersey with 25 Raiders fans. And they all, like, some of them kind of knew me, but everybody else has known me since we were kids. But it was funny because I walked in, everybody got quiet. They felt betrayed because I wasn't wearing Raiders gear. They were like, "Oh," it was funny. It was one of those funny moments where me walking in wearing a different jersey sucked the air out of the room. Good times. Good times. So this evening, I will be working with this crazy yellow gray tweed. You can't even see the gray, but this is some hardcore tweed. I'm gonna make a shirt. I'm probably gonna add a hood. There's a lot here. I'm thinking about going complete outfit. Excuse me, but do not quote me on that. Excuse me. Pittsburgh is a place where if the Steelers go to the Super Bowl, they gotta grease the telephone poles, and the firemen have to be ready for people lighting couches on fire in the street. It's same here. Same here. There's a rule, like when an LA team wins the championship, don't be anywhere near downtown. I feel like that's I lived in Oregon when USC lost for the first time in like 10 years, and college students burnt down Corvallis. I was there. I think it happens. There's this mix between sports, alcohol, and stupidity. When your team wins, people go crazy. And you know what? I'm gonna pull my old guy card out right now. I don't understand why people destroy their own city. And I live in LA where people destroy the city all the time. But that's for different reasons. Every time the Lakers would win, they would get the camera out and you could see people marching over the 3rd Street Bridge. And you're like, uh-oh. Oh, I love tweed. That fabric looks like it would be a bear to work with. For just, thank you so much. You know what? This material is actually really stringy. Booze will make you do wacky. Hey, let's be real. I grew up with real tailgaters. My brother's wife went to UCLA. They had season tickets. I went to wow, for like when I was young, for at least 2 or 3 years, I went to every UCLA home game. It was it was booze alley. Lots of great food though. Just amazing food. Oh, this stuff you have to work out to use this tweet. And the funny thing is, I'm really not used to working with one hand. So when I purchased all of this, I had to sit there and I'm like, oh, I only have one hand. I took this to the car, got my hand stamp, and came back for more fabric. But I'm one of those people. When I go to the swap meet, I have a contingency plan because I know I'm going to buy a bunch of stuff. I'm this close to buying a cart or a carreta, as they say in certain languages. Let me move my camera a little bit. Okay, that's much, much better. The biggest concert in Pittsburgh are country music. The most drinking at a concert in Pittsburgh is at country music ones. Guess which types of concert have the most brawls and arrests? Don't, same here. Same here. That's why when people start stereotyping, I'm like, I have an example. Oh, no. Okay, good. My finger's trying to time people out. But I feel like no matter where you live, that happens. In the 90s, I guarantee you when the Bulls won every year, people went crazy. Or um, you know, pickle rivalry. I was a huge Chicago Bulls fan back in the day. Yeah, I was raised in a time and a place where destroying your own stuff could get you 5 to 10 in the backyard pulling weed. Seriously though. But let's be real, like as long as I've been around, that's been happening here. So in no way, shape, or form do I claim that it doesn't go on. But again, I still think it's weird. And I've been in Seattle when the Seahawks were winning. They burned down half the city. I feel like it's a weird sports thing. And in the UK, let's be real, like football hooligans are real. And because I watch a lot of Canadian, UK, and Nigerian television, they show the truth of what goes on after football games. Oh. And you know what? Shout out to Nigerian television because they speak English. I know more about what's going on in Nigeria right now than I know what's going on in LA. Oh, good times. Good times. Imagine finally paying off the new glasses for your business, and then it gets broken 2 weeks later. I wish people knew how expensive glass is too, or just the whole process to get it put back up. That's a business I need to get into. The Olympics coming, and Fred Sanford in me is like, I need to bust out my paint gun again. I need to. Says the man who's working with one hand right now. All right, it's been a while since I have worked with this pattern. All right, I'm gonna make the dimensions a little bit bigger because I'm a little bit bigger since the last time I've made anything with this. Okay, perfect. This is the front. And if I have enough material, I'm going to go full outfit on this. But we'll see. What else happened today? There was wacky people running in the street. Again, I don't get like. I'm really, really into sports, but I would never harp on somebody. If I'm at the game, I might say that your team smells like cheese or something, you know. But I'm not gonna make it personal or try to fight anybody. And no one has ever tried to fight my son. There was one time, of course, it was at Popeyes. Um, there was actually a sheriff who walked up to my son, and people say this all the time. They look at me and they're like, "You let your son walk out of the house wearing that? He's wearing a Raiders shirt." People really hate the Raiders. Oh, yeah, the Olympics are coming to Los Angeles, and they're already cleaning up. If you have, well, no, I don't want to say it. Don't move to LA. But right now, it's a time to make money if you have commercial skills, if you have trucks, if you have crews and people that can do things. Now you'll make a lot of money because they're renovating the entire city. And the funny thing is, for I'm not going to get into politics, but they're finally cleaning up the streets of LA after years and years of people asking the politicians to do it, but they're finally starting to do it. I'm actually really interested to see what's going to happen because right now the fashion district in Los Angeles is dying in a lot of ways. People cannot afford the overinflated rent. So I really want to see because really what's happening is they want to show face. They want to show that we're a functioning city, even though LA kind of isn't right now. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with the fashion district. You could sew all the country's flags for the starting parade. That's not too far off at all. I actually apply for weird jobs like that. But do you know it's so funny? There's people who work at like David's Bridal and all these crazy places, and they just sit in front of a sewing machine and do alterations all day long. I don't know if I could do that. For anyone who sews in the chat, could you do that? I know a lot of people. Like, I've applied to work for the Los Angeles Kings every year for the past like 7 or 8 years because they have people who sew. So I applied to all these weird sewing jobs, and it's weird how there's always someone there from David's Bridal because they have the experience from doing alterations all the time. Oh, I finally got my doctor note for exempting me from jury duty, and she worked it super nice. So everybody keep your fingers crossed. The court will agree in my doc, and I can get treatment. Gilroy, I really hope that you don't have to do jury duty. Around here, like I wouldn't even tell you the things that I've done to get out of jury duty. Um So this is a really weird point of contention with me because people will rope me into a conversation because they want me to hem their husband's pants. I won't do it. I get offended because I'm sensitive. There was this woman at, of course, it was Hobby Lobby. There's always drama at Hobby Lobby, but she roped me into this huge conversation. Hey, Joy, great to see you. Great to see you. It's weird. If someone's like, hey, will you have my husband's pants? I'll tell them no. But if someone offered me money to do it, like right then and there, I probably would. I worked in sewing factory, sweatshirts, sewed sleeves all day. Oh, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know if I could do that job. And my job, I can get up 15 times. Jury selection is on Monday, and so are my treatments that keep me alive. I got to do jury duty. I could die. Oh, you'll totally you. I guarantee you they'll let you get out of it. Yay! Hello, Joy. Hello. Great to see you. Great to see you. But People are different. Is that offensive to you, or am I just being sensitive? A lot of people ask me if I can fix clothes, and I do get paid to make things, but I work with really, really far, like people that live out in the desert, churchy people, and they're not picky. uh, am I being sensitive when someone asks me, like, I feel like I'm being roped into a conversation, and then 5 minutes later, they're asking me to alter their clothes? Is that rude, or am I being oversensitive? It's one of those weird things. Hey, sewing question. Can you fix clothes? I do you know also my ex-wife walked in here one day and she's like, I need my jacket hemmed. I was like, there's a there's a dry cleaner right down the street. But I altered her coat for her, but she had me cornered. Oh, laugh out loud. It was a long time ago. I got in trouble for talking. Mona and I are very much alike. See, I couldn't have that job. I'd get fired for making friends. I feel uncomfortable sewing while I have watchers. I like being in. Thank you, my own little world. Thank you, Joy. I'm the exact same world. That's why I created this room to hide while sewing. I'm the same way. I'm the exact same way. That seems like it would be monstrous, and to do alterations all day, absolutely. Overprotective than sensitive. You don't want to do it. Okay. That is true. That is true. And it's also when people see me buying an obscene amount of fabric, and I don't get offended with that. Every single time I buy anything that's over like 8 yards, someone's like, hey, can I ask you a question? What are you making? You want to put the effort into making, not fixing. That is true. That is true. I give them tailors addresses. Thank you. I'm the same way. There's a dry cleaner up the street from my house. Man, they do amazing things on sewing machines. If it's somebody you know and they ask, it's one thing. If it's just some rando asking, I'd walk away. I think that's the thing. Like, there's people who know me. Like, my mom has asked me. I'm like, hey, I will help you right now. There's friends, people that have asked me. I'll help them. I get asked by strangers all the time. You can make a coat in 2 days. Why would you? What? Oh, thank you. Thank you. I don't know. It's one of those weird point of contentions with me. And people ask me all the time, but let's be real. I hang out at fabric stores. I hang out in craft stores. So I'm gonna get that question from people. And I walk in looking like Grizzly Adams, so people are real curious. Even I told the story last week when I went to Hobby Lobby. Um, this lady was like, "I'm not trying to be rude. What are you gonna make?" And I was like, "Well, we would not be surprised. People ask me that question all the time. I would rather make than fix someone's mistakes." That's true. Even in the construction world, one of my biggest pet peeves is coming behind somebody, and you see every mistake that person made, and you judge that person. You do. Oh, all right. Thank you. I thought I was the only one. I thought I was being sensitive, but it's real. Like, there's etiquette. There is a real etiquette to how you talk to a sewist. Do you know? And one of the reasons also I know this is because my father would sew, and my father loved sewing, but my father was a grown man who would pull out his sewing machine, and I'm not kidding. He would tell all of us, and I was the youngest, so I remember, but he would be like, I'm not fixing your clothes. Because the second he would pull out his sewing machine, he would want to do his project. Everybody in the house would be like, I put a hole in this. And so I kind of understand that now. I completely understand that now. Especially when you only have a certain amount of time. So I learned at a very young age that it's rude to ask a sewist. All right, let me measure the top. Perfect. Glasses today. Laugh a lot. I don't wear mine either. I live in I live in a house full of mistakes. The actual fixes take no time. Figuring out what they did and what can be done safely is what makes every fix take so much time. I totally get that. One of my biggest pet peeves is going behind, especially like corrupt contracting is huge here in Southern California. So like you'll be hired to go behind someone else's mistake and you're like, I don't even know why these people showed up. I have no idea. My grandma mended. I don't. Mine did as well. My grandma never gave up on a sock. She never gave up on a pillowcase. I'm so weird. I have a pillow that's probably older than me. And on my bed right now that my grandmother made probably 40 years ago. She just got she just kept on folding fabric over until it shaped a pillow. And you can see the 100 times that she just kept sewing on it. But I bet I know my codes better than the inspectors around here now, so that's a happy side of I know, man. I know how that is. I know how that is. Around here, Cal State OSHA is no joke. So you kind of have to become an inspector in a way. I was thinking about becoming an inspector, but I don't hate people. I'm not here to ruin people's day. I don't get my kicks out of ruining people's lives. But it looks like a fun job. So this material is it's tweed, but it's this weird yellow. And when I started going through my Janet Jackson All Right Cab Calloway phase, I discovered that I actually liked wearing certain colors. And if it wasn't for that video, I would have never made that yellow coat. I get my socks at the dollar store. I can buy more. I bet she still had her first pair of socks. You know what it was is because I was a oops, we're having a kid baby. My grandmother was from a different planet. She was Depression era. She was so much older than me. We were literally like I was living in the future. My grandmother still, when I was a kid, she still used those old school irons that you had to put on the stove. Like there were certain things she refused to get rid of. She would not. She recycled everything. Hey, once again, Dose, you have come through with an amazing thumbnail. This is one of the greatest episodes in television history. Every time I make a shirt, I think of this episode. Oh, I'm gonna say it. We are all, and if you're of a certain age, you're still a Huxtable. Oh, good times. I met a guy who was an adjuster for FEMA. Basically, what he does when a hurricane goes through, he looks at people's houses and says, "Yep, it's gone," and writes them big checks. Man, I bet you make a ton of money doing that job. I knew someone who was an insurance adjuster during Katrina, and they paid him quadruple overtime to go to Louisiana. That is one of the greatest episodes. I still think about that. That is like that should be shown to all sewists. Like you're gonna have a bad day. You're gonna have a bad day. I still make shirts like that all the time. Oh, such a good episode. I love you, and yes, I can fix your shirt. I can make it brand new. I wonder if Lisa Bonet ever really learned how to sew. Do you know what's funny? I watch a lot of old school television. I can tell certain people who knew how to sew and who do not know how to sew. Like, there's an episode, a very famous episode of I Love Lucy, and I spent a long time trying to figure out what kind of sewing machine she had, not knowing that she didn't even know how to turn the thing on. Oh, he makes 20,000. He makes 200,000 a year and only works a fourth of the year. Only thing that sucks is he's got to be ready to fly anywhere they tell him to within 24 hours notice. I actually knew someone who was from Ghana, and he was a real life hustler, and he went to Alaska and was a real crab fisherman and would come. He was the best roommate I ever had because he was gone for 8 months out of the year. Every year when I lived in Portland, he would show up and I would be like, oh, I forgot you lived here. But he would send me, he would send me checks for the entire year. That actually taught me how to balance money at a very young age. But anyways, he did crab fishing, and he made an insane amount of money. But it's also one of the toughest jobs on planet Earth. And he was like a real Ghanaian, not some dollar store wannabe. And he would go to Alaska. He basically lived in Alaska. I don't know if I ever would have the chops for a job like that. I always had this romantic view of living in Alaska, and then I went there and realized I wouldn't survive the winter. Perfect. Let me get my ruler out so I don't have a janky bottom on this shirt. Perfect. Would you ever work a job like that? Would you ever do a job like that? Where I live, trash men and women, the people who actually drive the car, make like $100,000 a year. There is a waiting list where I live to be a trash truck driver. I wouldn't make it in Alaska. I wouldn't make it in Alaska as an office worker, much less a crab fisher. I always thought he was tough for that. I'm sure, that was 20 years ago. So we're all in our 40s now. But I don't know if I could do a job like that. I always thought I could until I started doing jobs like that. Life is too short to be a crab fisher. I only have one back. I would do a job outside, sure, but not in Alaska. Okay. When I lived in Portland, I got paid a lot of money. I was hoisted down and I would spray barnacles off of ships with I can't remember what it was. Hydraulic powered water guns, basically. And you'd get paid a lot of money because if you fell in the river, you're falling a good 200-300 feet in the river. That was about as crazy as the job that I ever did in Portland. I used to work construction sites outside. But even that job, they make you sign a waiver because you're literally hanging off of a ship. My first job was cleaning fish ponds outside. All right, let's see what side this is. I think about this all the time because capitalism is funny that way. Again, where I live, people that drive grease trucks, they get paid an unreal amount of money. But it's an extremely dirty job. It was a navel. Yeah, that sounds crazy. Portland is a crazy place. Yeah, yeah. To wear waders. Portland, Oregon. That that was probably the craziest job I had in Portland. The only other job I had there was working at Carl's Jr. So it wasn't like it was all rainbows and handshakes. Perfect. I completely forgot that I made the poncho behind me. I'll put that on in a minute. For anyone who hasn't seen my short, I get bored. And when I have my days off, I sew. And I made this yesterday. I spent the entire day trying to line up my stripes. And I'm actually proud of myself because all of my fabric's going in the right direction. My first job was moving this guy's archery range. He had 10 acres in one day. And every two, yikes. I like being outside, but it was a dirty, hard job. It's fun working in nature, though. It is. I do stare out the window at my job. I do miss being outside. And whenever someone makes a mistake, I come running out there to show them how to do it the right way. I'm useful. I am useful. But that's the problem of going from the field to the office. I miss being in the field. But they have way better food in the office, I will say. And they go out to eat a lot. And they love donuts. But let's be real, who does it? Oh. And the coffee's better. The coffee's way better. Perfect. You know what's really funny? I need to get some scotch tape and fix some of these patterns. I need to get some scotch tape because these patterns are, some of these are at least 4 or 5 years old. And like the Mimi G pattern, I should really just buy a new one. But if I work in an office setting, I'm gonna have windows to look outside. Office food is the bomb. Donuts make my teeth hurt. Is it the sugar? Oh, that's funny. I live in the land of donut shops. There's donut shops everywhere here. We love our coffee here in Southern California, so you can get coffee everywhere. But now our donut shops serve everything, like from the bougie stuff down to the old school styrofoam cup with the plastic lid. And for the record, I love the styrofoam cup with the plastic lid. Yep, the sugar. I definitely have good chompers, so it's not the bread part itself. I'm an early riser, so I have an addiction to donuts because I'm there when they make them, when they're fresh. Is my excuse for being I have to be at work at 4 something in the morning. And most of the donut shops around here open up at 4 o'clock in the morning. They used to be 24 hours a day, but the plague ruined everything. And there was a whole world that was 24 hours and it's completely disappeared. All the stores, all the businesses. We have a place called Tommy's here that was the pride of Los Angeles. It still is, but they never closed. And now they have hours. I'll get a hankering sometimes and at 1 or 2 at night. And I don't drink alcohol, so I can leave my house at 1 or 2 in the morning. And it's weird to me how those places aren't open anymore. It's the strangest thing to me. The only 24-hour places around here anymore are convenience stores. Same. and they don't have good food there. That reminds me, I recently, I buy all kinds of stuff. And if it's a black and white t-shirt and it's my size, I will probably purchase it and cut the sleeves off. How let me go get the shirt in question. I'm just gonna go grab the shirt in question. Is it hold on, let me show my Bucky Beaver shirt first. Do you think I'm going to get a reaction? Around here in Southern California, no one will know what this is. Well, a lot of people are not from here. So a lot of people might know what this is from. But I don't think I've ever seen AM/PM t-shirt. I've never seen an Arco t-shirt. But I bought a Bucky the Beaver t-shirt. And I also bought a Miss Pat t-shirt because Miss Pat has gained quite a reputation in Southern California. I know people that refuse to work for her. So I'm going to wear that shirt in front of my friend. Oh, good times. We got to stop and let Will catch up to the post. Oh. Middle-aged man wearing any shirt with beaver on it is suspicious. Where I lived in Oregon, okay? I have an Oregon Beavers shirt. I have an I Love Beaver shirt, and it says Oregon on the back. Oh, I have a ton. This is the most true statement of the evening. Oh, Bucky's. I've seen her. I've even heard up here. Oh, Bucky's. I've even heard up here in Canada. Oh, so there is a Bucky's in Canada. Bucky Beaver. I thought it was hilarious. I did, but I still have all my clothes because I throw nothing away. And relatively speaking, I'm the same size. And for the record, Kilroy is 100% correct because I moved there 04-ish. So it was exactly 20 years ago. Oh. I can't be the only person that has 20, 18, 19-year-old t-shirts. No Bucky's in Canada. Oh, hear of it. Oh, from snowbirds going to Florida. It's definitely more of an East Coast thing. Like from Texas on, there's a ton of Bucky's. I've probably seen one in Southern California in California, because California is huge. No, I don't think I've ever seen a Bucky's in California. I don't know. I don't think I've ever. But yes, I do. I have a crazy black t-shirt collection. And the Miss Pat shirt. Miss Pat is somebody who has come to Los Angeles and made quite a reputation for herself. And so wearing that shirt, people are going to be like, oh, he's really nice in person, but he's terrible behind the scenes. Oh. All right, let me measure this real quick so I can see how long one shirt is over the other. Oh, that's right. The back is always longer than the front with this particular pattern. I have to stop and think about that for a minute. I just thought of the 40 mistakes I made, and I remember this is always a little bit bigger. I hear they're really big, which means I won't go. Big stores are a pain in the neck. I went to you gotta get the Mexican bread. It's not that sweet. You you should have seen my son's face. There are bakeries everywhere where I live, and Mexican bakeries are coveted. They're everywhere. And I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna let out a secret. All pan dulce tastes the same. It's colored sugar. We walked in this one bakery. They had all these cakes and everything. And you should have seen my son's face. We get in the car. He's eating it. And he's like, this all tastes the same. I said, yeah, because it's colored sugar. It looks amazing. And it's fresh bread. So it's the greatest thing you've ever had, you know. But Dose is 100%, right? That Mexican bread is sweet. Oh, I'm hungry again. All right, let me make the arms. Oh, that's good times when people discover stuff here in LA. It always makes me laugh. But really, it's just fresh bread with lots of sprinkles and food coloring. It's amazing. It tastes great. And it's actually culturally speaking, it's meant to dip in your coffee. Because in Mexico, drinking coffee, hanging out is a very cultural, social thing. And so there's a lot behind it. And pan dulce is one of them. And I thank you for coming to my TED Talk about... I did not think we were going to get into the pan dulce speech this evening. I keep on forgetting to show off my poncho. Yeah, today's been a crazy day. Today has been one of those days. The pan dulce fire. It's amazing. I'm biased because I grew up in Southern California. I'm extremely biased when it comes to these things because I do not know any better because I've been around this my entire life. And I might get kicked out. They might kick me out for saying all pan dulce taste the same, but it's true. Oh. Speaking of the Olympics, well, we were talking about the Olympics earlier. Do you think I'm too old to I can break dance? Do you think I'm too old for the Olympics? I won't say how old I'm gonna be in 4 years. Alexa, how old is LeBron James?
LeBron James is 39 years old.
They let a 39-year-old man
How long LeBron James has been in the NBA?
Alexa, no thank you. They let LeBron James dunk on everybody at 39 years old. Do you think they'll let me do it at almost 50? Oh, you're going to get whacked by a big Mexican baker. Now that's real. They have that, what is it? Bimbo bread has the corner of the market here. If she can do it, you can do it. I was thinking, like, they had breakdancing in the Olympics. They should have had a bunch of, like, 50-year-old people doing it. They were there. I'm just saying. After finally watching some clips, Even if you gave me a brace, I'd be there doing windmills, all kinds of stuff. I'd show up with a helmet. Oh, now I'm curious. We're gonna find out together. Alexa, does the Olympics have an age limit?
According to the ACE Electoral Knowledge Network, the voting age in the United States is 18 years old.
That didn't help. We're not talking about voting, you robot. Well, remember, this is the Olympics. We're shooting is just an overpriced 22. Kilroy is still mad that they've been doing that forever. Alexa, is there an age limit in the Olympics?
According to the ACE Electoral Knowledge Network, the voting age in the United States is 18 years old.
Thank you, robot. Thank you. Maybe I can be in the Olympics, and I could drive there. I wouldn't even have to stay at the Olympic Village. I would drive there in my car. Oh, good times. Good times. I think I'm gonna see if I could enter in the Olympics. I don't know if anyone remembers, but there was these two individuals. They were called Dave and Dave, and they got really hyped up by Nike, and one of them didn't even make the Olympics. And I believe I want to say 8 years ago they tried to make a comeback. The oldest guy competing in the Olympics this year is 65. He's doing the horse event. There's hope. Ask what's the age limit for participation in the Olympics. Alexa, what's the age limit for participation in the Olympics? Wow, that's
According to the ACE Electoral Knowledge Network, the voting age in the United States is 18 years old.
For the third time. To vote in the United States, you have to be 18. I have no idea why she keeps on saying that. I'm right there with Mona. Wow, 65. So there's hope. There's hope for me. There's minimum age, but no maximum ages. 65. There you go. I'm going to try to enter for the breakdown. I've watched Electric Boogaloo 1,000 times. I'm ready. Oh, I would go all out. I could make my own outfit. I would make my own outfit and sew a giant flag on it. I could put a bunch of patches on it. Oh, it would be a great comeback. Drake could play me in the movie. I'm kidding. I'm kidding on that one. He looks older than me. Oh. Oh, man, that was so funny. I'm going to need my inhaler on that one. So my Olympic dreams are alive right now. Like they don't want an 8-year-old boxing. I get that. I totally get that. I've always wanted to do the frontal skeleton winter Olympic sport. They got rid of it a while back. I'm trying to think. I was terrible at skiing. Man, I was terrible at snowboarding. I'm not really good at winter sport. Even though it's no secret, during the pandemic, I really got into curling and I know what's going on. When they have an event, I can actually watch it because I know what's going on. Because of YouTube, I am subscribed to all different types of curlers, and I've been subscribed to Curling Canada and USA since 2020. Oh. Perfect. So I guess I'm ready for the Winter Olympics. Perfect. Drake looks too much like a rich a-hole to play. You know what though? My fro picture weirdly, like there was a point in life where an intersection where we weirdly looked alike for a point in time. But that was the year of the El Nino, so the sun didn't shine for 9 months that year. Oh, good times. Don't trust a man whose teeth are as white as computer paper. Do you know what's really funny? I know you're joking, but like here, everybody has veneers, and I've said it a million times. People in LA look like rabbits. Everybody has brand new teeth. I literally jumped at somebody. I felt so rude because I said, "Whoa," because this guy had a brand new set of teeth. I turned a corner and he's like, "Can I help you?" I was like, "Wow." Everybody has fake teeth here in LA. It's the weirdest thing. And they all look like rabbits. Veneers make you look like a wax figure. They do. I think oh, I think I just have an active imagination. They look like human rabbits to me. Everybody has these big old chompers now. Careful, man. Careful. I can smell it. Yay, yay. It's okay. I think it's because you added too much soap on it. Just wear them and eventually it'll sweat it out. Just don't wash it with soap for a while. That's what happens when you can only cold wash stuff. That's what I like about living in the East. If you have messed up teeth like I do, just adds to your person. Where I live, it's one of the most pretentious places on earth. And so everything's for show and you have to look a certain way. But let's be real, like the average American is missing a tooth or two. I'm not one of those people that judge. I do not judge. The whole veneer thing is just weird to me because you look, man, it's like getting a haircut. It changes the way you look. Everybody has new teeth here. It is the strangest thing. I'm gonna show up one day with some chompers. I'm gonna shave my beard and look like I'm in high school. Oh, it's true though. It is true. It also depends on where you live too. LA's going through this whole shabby chic thing right now because everybody is going through the vintage thrift store era. But they all have nice shoes and shiny teeth. Los Angeles is a giant film set. Everybody's got to consistently be on set. Oh, certain parts. There was a movie called Last Action Hero with Arnold Schwarzenegger, where this kid goes through a screen, and he's trying to explain to Arnold that they're in a movie, and Arnold's like, "What are you talking about?" He looks around, he's like, "Dude, everyone's beautiful here." There are certain parts of the city where you're like, "Oh man, everybody is good looking here." This is not real life. But that's more like Culver City, Beverly Hills, West Los Angeles. Everybody's pretty in West LA. Santa Monica Boulevard, everybody's buff. But it's like that. I've been to Miami. It's the same thing. New York, everybody was wearing designer clothes. I looked at my friend. I was like, we are slobs. Because in Manhattan, people, they show up and show out. In California, we're wearing Chucks, a pair of Dickies, and a T-shirt. Ugh. And it also depends the time of year. There is a lot of similarities between Californians and Australians. It's the strangest thing to me, but it makes sense because we have the exact same weather. The exact same weather, except for our ocean won't try to eat you. You can whale watch. I've swam with dolphins. It was scary, but they weren't trying to eat me. I, like many people, when I think of Australia, I think of the million things there that could devour you. Imagine surfing and a great white shark just takes a chomp out of your board. No, thank you. And you have the same probability here. I'm not discounting that, but you have a higher probability in Australia. But your oceans will freeze your nose off. The Atlantic is a lot warmer. That does shock people when they come here that our oceans are freezing. That does shock people. Because it'll be 100 something outside and it'll be 40 to 50 degrees in the water. It's because our water it comes from Alaska. And so it's freezing and it's still cold when it comes all the way down. It's not until you get to like Mexico. All right. Man, it's been a while since I've used this pattern. All right. You know what? You know what? I'm going to pull the patterns and start sewing and see what happens. It's been a while since I've worked with this pattern. So we'll see in which direction I've grown. Either my sewing has grown or I have physically grown. We're going to find out. And it's not easy sewing with one hand either. And I'm extremely left-handed, so it's kind of torturous. My hand's gonna be broken for a very long time because I have to not use it as much, and I can't stop using my left hand. Could you stop using your dominant hand if you had to? And my hand's fractured and broken, but I can still do this. So it's one of those strange things. That is my excuse for why my hand is probably never going to heal, because I'm an extremely active human. I need to get the Scotch tape on these. Or I finally need to hire an assistant. Could you imagine the application for that? I would have a bunch of stipulations like, does this bother you? Does this bother you? Do you have any food allergies? I would hate to be my assistant. Do you sleep? Because I don't. Nope, I need insurance to pay for a butler, a maid, a tea, coffee girl, and tobacco waitress. You would love the 1950s. Oh, that's hilarious. A long time ago, I actually lived somewhere that had maids. And I'm gonna tell you, I couldn't handle it. And the worst part about it was, the second they found out that I spoke Spanish, every time I walked in the room, this would happen. They would stop talking. Because they knew that I knew what they were saying. So I don't know. I couldn't handle having maids or people that actually live in your house. It's all fun and games until you actually have people that live in your house with you. I need to get to know somebody for like 5 years before I'd let them be a maid. Yeah, it's awkward. It's awkward because this person lives with you all of a sudden and you're paying them and they like, I couldn't handle it. And also because I was raised in a really old school house. And so I do everything by myself. Someone waiting on me is weird. It's weird. But that's me. I knew somebody that like that would always say, I need a butler. And we would tell him, you do not need a butler. So it's up to that person's taste. Like this crazy shirt I'm making right now, it's up to someone's taste. Oh, that is a funky pattern. So Kilroy couldn't handle well, actually Kilroy could handle having a maid, but they'd have to be around for 5 years. Could anybody else handle having help? Like old school butler and old school maid. I wouldn't be able to hang, even with the chef, because I cook for myself. There's some people that swear by it. I would be hanging out with like me and my maid would be in the backyard like hanging out. I couldn't have a butler like that. But like I said, I know this because of experience. I lived in a house that had maids and I couldn't handle it. And it wasn't a point of contention. It wasn't like a really bad thing. It just was awkward. It was awkward. Especially if you speak the language of the people that they think you don't speak their language. I need an organizer for my whole house, but mostly the sewing room. Same, Joy. Same. You know, like they're expensive, but an interior decorator will come in. But they're really expensive. There's a podcast I used to watch, and there is somebody that became a millionaire off of being an interior decorator, and she started off on YouTube. She didn't go to college for it, or she didn't go to school for it or anything. She had no training whatsoever except for just knowing how to furnish a house. Exactly. I wouldn't mind having someone come and help me. You'd need triple the space to organize all your Fred Sanford junk. I was thinking about that the other day. I was building my new sewing room in my head, and I was like, well, it can't be here. And there's a storefront that's the lease is going up over by my son's MMA gym. Would that be weird if I leased something and just put sewing machines in there? I'd put internet in there so I could live stream, but would that be weird? So I can lease the building so I can have all my sewing machines. And there's no way someone's going to steal my sewing machines and drag them out. Those things weigh a lot. There's no way someone's going to break a window for like, I'll put quite a few in there. Oh, but it's a fairly large space. It's a fairly large space. And they have great internet over there. One of the reasons why they have great internet though is because it's in the older part of the city and there's a weird it used to be Pac Bell, but whatever company it is now, there's a giant cell tower there. And so this particular neighborhood They have the best cell service in my entire area. All right. So that's a no. So we're not pretentious people here in the house of sewing. It's weird. You know what? I always say this to people. They're like, "Oh, I want this and this." When you actually live it, it's extremely awkward. There are certain things, unless you're raised in that culture, and I wasn't raised in a culture of having maids and stuff. So when I lived in a house that did, it was the strangest thing on planet Earth. And I ask questions. I want to get to know people. I want to know where they're from. What's your kid's name? Oh, and I do have a wide array of Fred Sanford junk. Do you know what's really funny? I've been watching a lot of old school television. I actually have Fred Sanford right here. Let's put him on. Oh. But my son has been watching Sanford and Son with me, and he looks at me and he's like, "Is this my future?" And I was like, "Yes, this is your future, son." But I will say this, just like in the show, by modern standards, Fred Sanford lives on Figueroa. His house would be worth like $20 million. His storefront is on Figueroa. That's like $40 million. Fred Sanford would be a multi millionaire by today's standards if he kept his house. That's prime real estate in Los Angeles now. Oh, the volume's up. Whoops. Oh, that's right. I bought a bunch of old VHSs, and back in the day, I had this huge collection of Comic View, Def Jam. I had over 50, 60 VHSs. And over the years, they all slowly disappeared. So I'm slowly building my collection back up. All right. Better start learning the family biz, kid. Do you know what's really funny? He's actually a little genius. Like, he walks through here and he's like, "That's that much." He Googles things. He Googles a lot of things. He knows the value. But also he sees what I've done and what I do, and so he knows there is a way of actually making money with all of these crazy contraptions in this room. And that's the most important thing. I know this is going to be hard I know it's going to be a shocker, but my father was eccentric. He was an extremely eccentric person, so I am doing nothing but continuing the long line of eccentric humans. We're fun. We're fun. Oh. So he'll find his way in life, or he'll just be like Lily Munster, and he'll be the normal one in the kooky, crazy family. Oh, perfect. And there's nothing wrong with learning the family business. I learned masonry. I learned how to shoot gun night from my father. I learned how to put a building up Amish style, all kinds of important things. All right. I'm clearing the mess off of my desk. I'm telling you, no matter how much space you have, you will find junk to put on there. Oh, move this. Oh. It's tight space here. Check real quick. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Seriously, to everyone who is subscribed to my channel, I absolutely thank you. This is the definition of pirate sewing. I cut corners, but I'm fun. I thank everyone who has recently subscribed to my channel. We are truly growing here in the house of sewing. And I figure one day I will figure out how to turn this machine on. I'm still laughing how all three of these machines are powered by the same cord. That's the one thing I love about clones. And these are a little bit harder to destroy than a modern domestic. Some of these are a combination of plastic and metal, but two of these are actually all metal. And I was really surprised. The white was all metal. I was really surprised. The only thing that was plastic were the knobs. I was really surprised because most of the time, they'll say like, "Oh, this machine is heavy duty." You take it apart, it's all plastic. So I'm actually pleasantly surprised with these machines. Oh, I can't believe I got this thing going again. I had a feeling if I just had patience with this machine and gave it a little bit of time, gave it some time off, I knew this thing would come back to life. Perfect. Do you know, for years I used 3-in-1 oil, and I will still swear by 3-in-1 machine oil. It's not necessarily something that you should use for a sewing machine. I know Alibaba's there screaming like, he finally got sewing machine oil. But I got 3 machines going last night. And it took me maybe a half an hour once I figured out what the problem was with each machine. Like so between my newly gained knowledge, sewing machine oil, I fixed all these machines. So you might see some of my sewing's greatest hits. I'm bringing back some of the old machines. Oh, that fits. But I had to laugh because this thing, it had a knock. There was all kinds of crazy things going on with this machine. And I just played some Barry White and gave it a little bit of love, and it started working again. Hey, Atheist Mo! How's it going? How's it going? Great to see you. Great to see you. I hope everything's going well. I hope... perfect. How's it going? How's it going? How did the summer treat you this year? I had kind of an adventurous summer, but it was a lot of like, same old. Perfect. You gotta do the test early so you don't hear any rips or anything. Perfect. I'm definitely bringing the giant hood back. I think making all those shorts reminded me of what I love doing. So I'm bringing back certain styles and certain patterns that I used to do all the time. I'm still branching out. I'm still making new stuff, but I sew a lot. So I'm going to start going back to some old favorites. And during the winter, I wear all of this stuff, and I'm loving this crazy tweed pattern. Yeah, how's it going? How's it going? I work at McDonald's. They took my summer away. My job did the same thing. I sat in the office looking out the office like this, like, oh no, like this. Awesome. Great to see you, Mo. Great to see you. Oh. Perfect. that. See if I can get my sewing angle back. Only 35 hours a week. I work third shift, so I totally get it. I get up in the middle of the morning, so I completely understand. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I was just talking about how when I lived in Portland, Oregon, I worked at Carl's Jr. for off and on for almost 4 years. Beautiful. This is the definition of tweed. This stuff is double line. I'm definitely wearing the conference room drapes on this one. Do you know, I would have thrived during the Depression. I was thinking about this earlier. Wages lowly. It's like that. It's like that everywhere. Good job getting it going. Thank you. Thank you. Yay. Hey, Mo. Hey, Mo. How's it going? But do the drapes match the... I'm going to try to make pants. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So let me give a quick inspection. Perfect. Let's add the arms. That's one of the reasons I was waffling so much, because I'm getting better and better at doing this, and it doesn't take that long. I spend more time making the hood than I do the shirt half of the time. But it depends on, what I'm doing. And you have to be careful because you don't want to look, you got to be careful so you don't look like Dose's shirt. It's after midnight, just saying hello. Have a great night, Mo. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much. I hope everything is going well for you. You're always welcome here in the House of Sewing. All right, let me pull that. Oh, this is gonna be a funky pattern. Speaking of a Huxtable, this is definitely gonna be a funky pattern. Yeah, have a great night, Mo. Have a great night. Awesome. All right, let me clean up a little bit in here. It's a mess in here. Do you know what's really funny? I was looking through my freezer, and you can tell that it's just my son and I. There's ice cream sandwiches, steak. It's just man freezer. I was going through it today. I was like, oh man, this looks bad. Oh. You know what? You know what's funny? I'm probably going to end up making a giant hood, so we're probably going to get shorts. Depending on how you cut, it's really deceptive, but you do use up a lot of fabric while sewing. That's why I try to put things on top of each other or even double up. But something like this came from a manufacturer roll, so it's a little bit bigger than something you'd buy at Michael's or Walmart. Because when it comes off the entire roll, it's double what you would get off a bolt. Oh. Do you know, I have absolutely put these Rubbermaid tables through the ringer, and these things are like 10, 15 years old. All right. Okay. Do you know I completely forgot about this. Do you know I've made so much stuff lately. This is sad that I forgot about this. Oh, this smells so good. This smells like my laundry soap. Have a great night, Mona. Thank you so much for stopping by. Oh. I'm going to switch my camera really quick. That is the wrong camera. Have a great night, Mona. Thank you so much for stopping by. I made this yesterday because I was like, I need another project. And I have like 5 projects going on at once. And when I was gonna make a huge project out of this, but when I opened the pattern, I noticed that where the fold in the fabric was, it was fraying. So down the entire middle of the fabric, it was completely frayed. So I had to cut around all the frayed edges. So I ended up cutting around most of the fabric. Thank you. I completely forgot it. I try to stay busy as a sewist. I'm trying to constantly make things. And this was kind of on a whim, but I fell in love with this. And of course, I have my signature giant hood. Yay. You know what's really funny? When I make something like this, spatial perception is real. I look way shorter than what I really am. But I love how this came out. Oh, that's perfect. This is perfect. But it's hot in here. So I'm going to put this off to the side and get my shirt together. Oh man, this winter, I am ready for winter. Oh. Man, that is hot. It is hilarious that when I put tweed on, my temperature jumps. It instantly jumps up. Oh, man. I'm actually really interested to see how this turns out, because this is definitely an odd color. All right, gotta make sure that's the front. But like I said, watching, making all of my shorts, it reminded me of all the crazy things that I've made over the years and the things that I love to do. So I'm getting back to doing the things that I absolutely love to do. A lot of the time, I get caught up in the minutia of the internet. And you know what? There's a lot of things that I am, and there's a lot of things that I'm not, but I'm a sewist. And I have to remind myself that. Because this is what I love to do. And I could sit around and debate until the cows come home, but this is what makes me happy. And productive, too. Because I'd rather contribute and create than try to destroy. And that's my thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And I did. I may or may not have Amazoned another Huey Lewis and the new album. And so do you know what's really funny? I forgot what it was to listen to full albums. I think that's what it is. When one song plays into another, they have a genius interlude. I think I'm just starved for great music, is what it is. And so I'm going down nostalgia row, and these are just, I forgot how amazing you had to be to get produced. And so it's just great music. And it puts me in a better mood in traffic, too. Have a great night. Good night, everyone was going to watch this movie called Chronicle My Roommate wants me to watch. Have a great night. Thank you so much for stopping by, Nightmare Baby. You are always welcome here. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. So I thank you very, very, very much. Oh, I gotta take this. Wow. Yeah, I have to take this thing off. And then 20 minutes, I'm gonna be like, oh, why does my hand hurt so much? Says the man taking off his brace from his fractured hand. I can't do all the crazy intricate things with my brace on. So I guess I can't sew one-handed. And I've said it a million times. At my job, you're not allowed, you basically can't be wearing a brace. It's this weird law. So when I'm at work, I am not wearing my brace anyways. And that's why my hand is not going to heal. I was told it's probably going to take 2 months, but with the way that I go about it, it's going to take like 4. Okay. And I think that's the problem because it's not completely broken. Thank you so much for stopping by, Nightmare Baby. I think because it's not completely broken, it doesn't feel as bad. Perfect. That arm on. Man, it's Monday and I've already got a lot of sewing done. My sewing has really increased lately. It's because I've purchased just miles and miles and miles of tweed. Perfect. Like I said on Saturday, if you had told me 4 or 5 years ago I would be working with tweed, I would have laughed. And now it's something that I go looking for every Saturday. But I think, this Saturday, I think I will not be fabric shopping in Los Angeles. I'm trying to talk myself out of taking another vacation. I'm going to plan it out. And when I say vacation, I drive to the desert and find every Goodwill that I haven't discovered. I head east. And it just happens to be this extremely decadent place called Las Vegas that is 3 hours east from my house. But I'm going to plan this trip out because this will be like my 4th or 5th trip. And with every single trip, my planning gets better and better. And I have an even more exciting trip. Like, So Yeah has normal business hours. I do not necessarily operate during normal business hours. So I'll have to try to find a way to get into So Yeah while they're open. But I'm definitely looking forward to my next trip. And I've discovered all kinds of really crazy things. And much like there's towns in LA where people think I'm from there because I'm there all the time. There's people in Vegas that are like, oh, you live here, right? I saw you a week ago. Beautiful. That's not a bad idea. They are. The funny thing is, not even saying like, oh, I'm a big spender. If you're a YouTuber, they'll give you the Willy Wonka golden ticket, especially if you're a sewing YouTuber, because walking in somewhere like that, it is kind of actually like an experience, because you're walking into a warehouse of fabric. The garment district is extremely overwhelming in that same sense, where when you go, you just see rolls and rolls of fabric, and it's intimidating at first. But I really want to go to So Yeah. And Vegas is really deceptive. A lot of the buildings look the same. I've driven past this particular building like 6 or 7 times. So I know exactly where it is. And I want to go back to the Goodwill bins. I know I sound crazy for saying that after the experience that I had, but I'm going to go full hockey pads. I'm going to show up. I have a really, really old Montreal Canadiens jersey. And it's goalie size too. I will show up full hockey pads, helmet, mask, everything. Oh, that was my first ordeal with full contact thrifting. I didn't even know running of the human bulls was real. But people lost their brains at the Goodwill bins. And so when I go back, now that I know what I'm getting myself into, I'm going to come with like a cattle prod or something. Oh. You know, because I'm the consummate out-of-towner, the new guy, I loved it when I pulled up. I'm in Las Vegas, and all like there were people I've seen their YouTube videos, and they're like, "Oh, it's another one," and they're saying it like they're gonna get a reaction out of me. I'm like, sorry, buddy, the coffee's kicked in. You're not getting a reaction out of me. Laugh loud with that old school goalie mask, Michael Myers. Like, I that was a score. You know, in all of my thrifting, that mask was an utter and complete score. Because this is a real hockey goalie mask, not a fake one. This is a real one. I just picture the Goodwill bins as Helen in the cell. It really is, though. It's really sad if you think about it. It really is. And the one in LA that I went to, I went with my son, and people were so polite. They were showing us like the etiquette and what to do. Vegas was unreal. Vegas was unreal. So next time I go to the Vegas Goodwill bins, I'm wearing this. Oh, when I saw this, the lady really, she was like, "Oh, it's a movie prop," and I'm like, "No, this is real." I love it. I love it. It basically, man, when they make a switch from gas to electric, it's gonna be like Mad Max, where I live. Oh. You know, I forgot I had this. I could wear this and offend everybody. Do you know what's funny? When you go to Italy, around the Vatican, around everywhere, they have these really badly dressed centurions everywhere. And a lot of their gear doesn't even fit. Oh, good times. Good time. Ugh. All right, let me catch an edge on here before I completely lose what I'm doing. Oh. I'm ready. I am ready to go here in the house of soap. I have props like a movie house in here. I could go from a 1950s goalie to a centurion real quick. right. Maybe move that pen. Now that doesn't look like a movie prop. Looks like a Halloween. Very true. No, I didn't say it wasn't cheap. The mask is real. The Centurion was. My son probably bought that years ago and then got tired of it. And I was like, oh no, we throw nothing away here. Okay, perfect. You should sew a Centurion outfit for yourself and wear it in public with a hidden cam. I would have to go out of town because where I live, no one would react. People expect me to wear goofy stuff. Like where I live, nobody would react. When they're given the tour, they're like, oh, that's William. He wears goofy stuff. It's actually anticlimactic when I'm looking for a response. People around me are so used to me wearing eccentric things. I don't even get reaction from people anymore. I'm gonna have to find some out of towners who don't know me so I get real responses. Oh, I would look like those people in Italy with those terrible Centurion uniforms. Oh, that's not how Rome ruled the world. They did not look like that. Oh. All right. So all of this together and hopefully it fixes everything. Perfect. Oh, I have Huey Lewis stuck in my head. I stay cool as a rule, but sometimes bad is bad. Ba-do, ba-do. All right. It is so hard sewing with a brace on. You don't realize how much you use something until you can't use it anymore. I have to figure out where this is coming from. Now you need to wear a three-piece suit in tweed. I made one. My three-piece suit is so hot. It is so hot. It's not even funny how hot a three-piece suit is. Now I know why in LA you can get 3 wool suits for like $100 because no one's wearing wool here. There is signs everywhere from Santee Alley, Hollywood, everywhere. Well, it used to be Hollywood, but Hollywood's closed. But in LA, you can get a 3-piece suit. You can get a 3-piece wool suit anywhere. I mean, anywhere for like $100. It used to be $100. Now it's like $149 around there. Alright, let's see. Wow, I don't see any daylight. Perfect. But one day I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go get 3 wool suits for $100 and see what they look like. And you get them tailored and everything. But I've never taken any of these companies up on the offer. I'm really curious to see what kind of wool they use and why is it so cheap for wool suits here. I might do a video one day. I bought a wool suit or 3 wool suits. And it's one of those things where it hasn't gone away. So my curiosity is still there after all these years. For the first time I saw anything like that, well, I was a kid. It was like 30, 40 years ago. But relatively speaking, they're still selling them around the same price. I'm sure on the East Coast you could wear a wool suit. You could wear a wool suit, but a wool suit would not I don't know if I'd be able to hang wearing a wool suit. This summer, on average, it's been 98 degrees to 100 something every day. I've been listening to a lot of like 1950s radio and stuff, a lot of old school stuff. Man, I bet they were hot all the time in the 50s. I bet they were so hot. Wearing all that tweed and wool. I can't believe I got this machine going again. I stay cool as a rule, but sometimes bad is good. Oh! Of course, it stalled out right at the Huey line. Come on. Come on, we're done. We're almost done. Perfect. All right, so I'm gonna check this, and then now is the big reveal. If you hear a rip, that is my giant head, because much like my backside, I do not take my giant head into consideration. I completely forgot. We're 2 hours in, and I completely forgot. I bought a snowsuit. I bought an old Sears snowsuit. Nobody was there to stop me. And I purchased an old Sears snowsuit. But before we try on the snowsuit is so hot. It is so hot. And it's obviously from either the 60s or the 70s, but it's still well insulated. I'm going to put the snowsuit on in a second. I forgot. It's a full jumpsuit with a hood, too. Because, I can't turn around coveralls, overalls, or anything with a hood. Oh, this material is stiff. But look how amazing that pattern is. There's always that moment of that reveal where you're like, okay. Because sewing, you're doing everything inside out, and you're like, oh, I hope this looks a certain way. You will look like a 70s Canadian. All right, I'll put it on. But first things first, let's switch the angle. One day I will figure out these cameras. Okay. So I'm gonna move a few. I forgot about the snowsuit. My son walked out here and he's like, in what situation are you ever going to wear a snowsuit? Have a great night. I love your thumbnail. Dose. Thank you so much for stopping by. I absolutely love that. That's a keeper right there. That is a keeper. I'm trying to remember the brand name of the shirt. Have a great night, Dose. Oh, hopefully my shirt doesn't turn out like Theo's. Oh, man. I stay cool as a rule, but bad is good. Oh, this shirt fits. Hold on, let me suck it in. Oh. Perfect. Oh, I love it. And it's a bit stiff, but this fits well. This is yellow in a weird gray tweed. This is an extremely weird gray tweed, but I like it. This is like a man about town shirt right here. This is weirdly fancy. All right, I'll grab the snowsuit. I like this. I really like this. I may or may not add a hood, which means I probably will. Neck's perfect. So I'll probably add a hood. This material is way stiffer than I thought it was, and I could see Kilroy's Comet without my glasses. I agree. And this is weirdly Golden Knights colors too. In a weird way, this is Las Vegas Golden Knights colors too, in a very strange way. Beautiful. Oh. So I'm probably gonna add a hood on this. This came from like these were cut from 50 feet. These are extremely long cuts. So these were industrial huge drapes, cathedral size. All right, so we're gonna end the show with a snowsuit in August because it's oh. Oh, oh, this does not breathe underneath at all in any way, shape or form. Does that stuff breathe at all underneath? This reminds me of my original Star Trek uniform. That's 100% polyester. It has no give. Oh. Okay, so now is time for the snowsuit. I walked past this thing like 4 or 5 times. I told myself, like, William, you do not need a snowsuit. But then I had that moment of, it's a snowsuit. Everybody's going to feel really silly when it gets cold this year, and I'm prepared, and I'm ready to go. But let's be real. I love wearing crazy stuff. This is basically a sleeping bag. This thing is made of the same material of a sleeping bag. Oh, come on. Hold on. This thing's a little tight. And I want to warn you right off the press, this thing does show a little cake. So I'm going to warn everybody. Oh. Hold on, let me suck it in. Oh, this is ridiculous. Hold on, where are my K2 glasses? Oh. If there oh Oh, Saturday night, brother. I'm gonna meet you on the mountain. This is a snowsuit. Let me grab. I knew when I purchased it, I knew it was gonna be close. When I saw the dimensions, I knew it was gonna be close. But it's okay. Hold on, let's look. Oh yeah, I'm bringing cake to the party. You look like you work on the Union Pacific Railroad. Wow, that is you already ready for the snowmobile trail. Oh, wow, that is retro. It's a weirdly coveted thing where I live. Um it's on that list of things that you should buy because you could resell. Snow, for some reason, old school snow gear sells for a ton of money where I live. There are mountains, but you have to go to them. The weather does not come to you. Oh, good times. Good times. Oh, great times. So, needless to say, this one's staying. I was in the mirror and I was like, oh, this is nice. This is nice. And this one won't. Oh. All right, let's give it the real test though. Let's give it the real test. Oh! I heard a rip. Oh, okay. I can fix that. Oh, nothing but fun here in the house of Zoe. Oh, oh my gosh, great times. That is late 70s without the colors. The other one I purchased, the blue one, that thing is 1970s. It's blue, has all kinds of crazy, crazy colors on it. Oh, I don't skip leg day, so. Oh, I was thinking 750 for that too, out east. Wow. Do you know what's really funny? I put that blue jacket up. I just for S's and giggles to see what it would sell for, and people are offering me hundreds and hundreds of dollars for that last one I purchased. So when I saw this, I'm like, "Ooh, I'm buying this." I'm wearing a snowsuit. This thing is amazing. And I am strangely warm here in the house of sewing. All right, let me take this off before this thing completely rips. Oh, I'm having too much fun. I am having too much fun. Oh. Oh man. That is a giant sleeping bag. Oh. Okay. Oh man, that thing is so hot. I feel like a baked potato in that thing. Well, they go together like peas and carrots, Kilroy. You have too much junk in your house and too much junk in your trunk. Oh, that. Oh, that snowsuit. I forgot about the snowsuit. Let me put my turbo glasses back on. I completely. Oh man, these are too turbo even for me. I forgot about the snowsuit. That's You know what's really funny? That's one of the odd reasons why I want to go back to that place that's on the California Nevada border, because they have affordable coveralls and it's really rare. But if you think about it, I don't know if it's affordable with the amount of gas that I will spend to get to the state of Nevada to go buy these. Oh, today has definitely been a full evening here in the late show here in the House of Sewing. Good grief. I made something amazing last night. I love that shirt. It's coming to a short near you. I'll be back at it on Wednesday. I'm going to go in the kitchen and make some bad choices right now. Oh, that's right. I have a bunch of leftovers. I'm going to go in the kitchen and make a bunch of really bad choices right now. Comment of the evening. Those glasses bring me 1983 vibes. It reminds me of every meathead movie I ever have seen. Every villain in those weird skiing movies from the 80s. Oh, that is every villain in those skiing movies. I'll meet you on the hill, brother. Oh, I miss those. You know what's really funny? I watched those cheesy movies with the synthesizer interludes, with the synthesizer montages. Good times. Man, we've gone around Jupiter twice. So I want to thank everybody. I'll be back at it on Wednesday. I had a great time. We came, we saw, we ripped some stuff. But we're still growing here in the House of Sewing, and I absolutely thank everybody who has recently subscribed. To everybody who is still here, I thank you. After all these years, I sincerely thank you. I'll be back at it. I will be back at it on Wednesday, same bad time, same bad channel. Laugh Aloud was lots of fun. Thank you very much for that. You're awesome, as always. As always, Alibaba. Thank you so much. And to everybody who was here, Kilroy, Ollie especially, Dose, thank you for stopping by. To Nightmare Baby, Mo, to Donnell, Mona, Joy, thank you so much for stopping by. I'll be back at it on Wednesday. And like I always say, reinforce your seams. I was going to do it with this hand. Be yourself, and I will definitely see you next time. Have a great night, everybody, and thank you. I should hit the button, huh? Have a great night. Bye.